Hello everyone, today is Saturday, December 1st. It's time for the Bitcoin.com weekly Bitcoin news roundup. Got two special guests today. You'd all know me probably, Roger Ver, CEO of Bitcoin.com. Mate Toke, COO of Bitcoin.com is back again. And then the ever popular, like I see people asking for you in the comments, Corbin Fraser.
Yep,
so,
back
Pleasure
again.
to be here.
Yeah,
Honored.
so it's been a busy week for all of us.
It's been a big catch-up week. Yeah, it's been great.
Lots of positive news here. You want to kick us off there,
Yeah,
Corbin?
let's get to work. So first off is BitPay. The Bitcoin Cash payments has finally returned. It was offline a little bit during the hash wars there, but customers can again choose to pay in Bitcoin Cash at checkout, and merchants will be able to receive settlements and issue refunds in Bitcoin Cash. BitPay software continues to use the Bitcoin ABC software implementation of Bitcoin Cash, and to celebrate, store.bitcoin.com has released a coupon. BCH is back, all caps, for 20% off.
So if you want a cool hat like Mate's, head on over to store.bitcoin.com.
We have some amazing swags at the Bitcoin.com store. Go pick up some of yours.
Yeah.
We've got some new shirts too coming up that should be available in the next month or two here. Actually, I've seen some of the samples and stuff. They're looking pretty awesome. So make sure you subscribe to the newsletter as well to keep up to date on any of the latest teas that come through.
And if you have ideas for like swag you'd like to see, like contact us and let us know what you want to see. Like send in the designs, and if we like it, we'll put it up there.
If you've got a sweet shirt for Roger to wear, I'm sure he'd rock it on the next show as well.
Gladly.
So
So
send it in.
That's right.
And my Yes We Coin shirt today. So thank you to the Yes We Coin guys for giving me a cool shirt.
And the Bitcoin.com store is going to be at the 2019 Bitcoin Miami conference in Miami.
Coming soon.
We're going to have all the great swags there, so make sure to come to the conference and visit the Bitcoin.com booth along with the Bitcoin.com store.
There you go. And meet a bunch of us there as well. So another fantastic mover and shaker in addition to BitPay in the space is Coinbase, right? What you want to take us in there, Mate?
So full functionality for Bitcoin Cash, including buys and sells. Receives were enabled on Coinbase Pro, and of course Coinbase supports Bitcoin ABC, so which is really great, and it also shows that big players in the space are supporting Bitcoin ABC, and they're not really caring much about Bitcoin SV. Any thoughts to that?
Yeah, I think it's pretty exciting. I mean, it sounds like they're at some point will allow people to withdraw their BSV, but they have no intention of actually supporting it. To actually trade within their platform. I tested it out as soon as they re-enabled. I hopped online on my phone, picked up an extra BCH just to make sure everything was working kosher, and it's on sale right now. So yeah, everything
definitely on sale right now. Yeah.
So yeah, I grabbed a little bit extra just to have a little fun. But yeah, it's Coinbase is still an amazing app for new users to get into crypto, and of course it's a custodial wallet, so we should always highlight.
I almost think you shouldn't call it a wallet, right?
Yeah.
In fact, Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, came out with a blog saying like Coinbase is not a wallet.
Yeah,
it's a bank, which is fine. Like there's
it's okay as long as you know the consequences.
As long as you understand what's going on, it's fine. A lot of people seem to think that like I hate banks. No, like I think banks have a time and a place, but I'm much more interested in wallets than banks.
Yeah,
so,
I think a lot of people have this misconception that the people behind Bitcoin Cash or any of these cryptos, that we all want to see all banks burn, but I think we want to see is banks evolve and adopt.
I want to see it so people don't need banks,
Yeah,
right? You can be your own bank. It's not that we want to see the banks like, crash and burn. No, just we want to build tools. So like, what do you need a bank for? You can do it yourself.
Exactly.
Like, faster, easier, and cheaper.
Yeah, be in control of your own money.
Yeah.
I think the smart banks will adapt and survive, and I think maybe in the coming years we may see some banks struggle and to compete with crypto, but at the end of the day, I think allowing people to become their own bank is kind of the whole idea. Yep.
So we also see that CoinEx, which is a fantastic exchange, CoinEx.com, and EdgeWallet, formerly known as, what was it called before EdgeWallet? It had a different name. Airbits, that's it. Yeah. A bunch of great guys over at Airbits. Yeah, they've been around for a long time. Yeah, Paul Pui, fantastic job. Sorry, I forgot the old name of your wallet, but that just shows how effective your rebranding has been there, Paul. Great job over there, guys. So keep up the good work. So, but one thing that's noticeably missing from the list of businesses that have re-enabled all the Bitcoin Cash functionality here, of course, Bitcoin.com, I'd like to point out, we were never down. We didn't miss a beat at all. We never took any of the services offline. They were up and running and working the entire time.
Business as usual.
Business as usual the entire time. So the fact that BitPay and Coinbase and EdgeWallet and all these other exchanges paused their Bitcoin Cash stuff just shows how effective the fear, uncertainty, and doubt can be in the ecosystem. Where I kind of feel like with this whole Bitcoin Cash upgrade, like the biggest thing that people had to fear was the fear itself. Like to use a cliche there, because like it functioned the entire way through without skipping a beat, like at all. It worked great. And one business that still has their funds offline, and I just noticed myself maybe a couple hours ago, because it's the end of the month at Bitcoin.com, and we're moving funds around to do all the payroll and pay all the the end of the month expenses. And we still use an old blockchain.info wallet for a lot of the addresses that we're using on our as part of our website. They have it temporarily disabled, it says, and like that was really disappointing. So we have some funds in there. Like I guess I can extract my private keys and do it manually and move my funds, but still annoying to see that it's totally offline over at blockchain.info. So
yeah, and I know I've heard from other guys that throughout the world there's still some exchanges that still have BCH disabled. So they're not allowing trading of BCH to fiat, which of course makes it a little tricky for people that are kind of coming in and out of the space on a regular basis. So I mean,
it's time for every business basically to turn BCH trading back on.
Yeah, I think we can safely say BSV has said that they're going their own way. BCH is continuing on its path towards scalability and global adoption.
So we can safely say, what are you waiting for, BCH?
Yeah. Start turning it back on. Start turning it back on. We, I think, if the big guys like Coinbase are back in, if we see Kraken is back in, CoinEx is back in,
there wasn't a single report of anybody having a problem, period. There were no reorgs on Bitcoin Cash. There wasn't anything
time to re-enable it. Let's get
there
back to work.
There were just some loudmouths on Twitter and social media, making a bunch of threats. That's all it was.
And speaking of, splitting your coins, CoinEx is a fantastic exchange to split your coins. I've tried myself. I basically
they use the same deposit addresses for both BTC.
I just sent my Bitcoin Cash, and they split it automatically. I had the Bitcoin SV on my account, and I was able to successfully dump them.
Yeah, actually, Kraken
got more BCH for my sweet coins. So
little bonus.
That was great bonus for me.
Kraken also actually has a splitter now as well.
Good.
I think actually your little poke towards Alan at that meetup a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, thank you, Alan, for putting in a good word there for us. If it was up to you, Alan, thank you. And thank you, Jesse, over at Kraken. Like Jesse, for the most part, is pretty quiet, and he's always been a quiet guy. I've known him for about 20 years now, but he's always been quiet. But he's really doing a great job over there at Kraken. And occasionally you'll see him, poke his head out a bit on Twitter, and he did recently in regards to this whole Bitcoin Cash BSV stuff, and he basically said the BSV people are threatening to attack all the chains and cause problems. If you do, they're going to socialize the losses amongst all the BSV holders on Kraken. So
I like it. He rules with an iron fist. It's pretty
quiet one.
But very quiet iron fist. It's great.
Next one, Google Trends. Bitcoin is hitting its highest level since April. So I guess lots of people are searching for Bitcoin. I guess they search when the price goes up or when the price goes down. So
I think people just get curious, and I think Bitcoin.com, we capitalize on that a lot.
Absolutely.
I mean, we rank very highly.
When people search for Bitcoin, eventually they find Bitcoin.com as the
not
top.
Eventually, it's probably pretty quick.
The first results there, and if you're new to Bitcoin and you're interested in cryptocurrencies, you want to learn about Bitcoin Cash, go to Bitcoin.com. We have fantastic educational content there, great podcasts, great videos, of course, good YouTube channel. Everything is just great on Bitcoin.com. So make sure you check it out and educate yourself.
Including our games too. We like the games.
That's right.
State of Ohio is accepting Bitcoin.
To pay your taxes,
It says Bitcoin taxes.
It's probably a typo.
Are they using BitPay for that, or do we know who they're using?
They are using BitPay,
So that means, I think our title should say that the state of Ohio is accepting Bitcoin Cash for taxes.
Yeah.
So if you're interested and you have a company,
in paying your taxes
no one is interested in doing that. But if you wanna explore that, go to ohiocrypto.com and register.
I'd like to point out there are people that really are excited about paying taxes, but almost inevitably those are people that actually work for the government, so they don't actually pay any taxes at all. Because if your entire salary is derived from other people's taxes, and they're just giving it back, then they don't actually pay any taxes at all. So I got to see firsthand with some other stuff. We won't go into deep detail on camera, but there was a government agent that says, well, I like paying taxes. Well, you don't pay any taxes at all. If you work for the government, you pay zero taxes. Your entire salary is taxes. So if I hand you $100 and give me $50 and say, give me $50 back as soon as I give it to you, You didn't give me anything. I still wound up giving you a net of $50. So if you earn, $50,000 working for the government, and then you pay, $10,000 back in taxes, you didn't pay any taxes, right? You're just giving back the taxes back. So like, I guess that just shows how muddled the thinking are of the people that say they like paying taxes. So
did you guys see the Trevor Noah clip about the Ohio taxes?
No.
So
Tell us.
On the Daily Show on Comedy Central, they actually used some of the charts from charts.bitcoin.com to highlight the occasional volatility in the markets. And
so is our background watermark right there in the
yeah,
charts?
you can see our watermark, and
that's
also
nice.
actually they didn't realize, but they included Bitcoin Cash in there without realizing. So
Good for
No.
our marketing
Bitcoin
department
Cash is
there.
making it in
Nice.
there. Yeah, that's good.
All right, next up on our list, BCH upgrade, recent additions, check data sig and CTOR. Corbin, any comments on that? It's technical
there was a lot of FUD going around, CTOR, but
It's illegal.
yeah, this is DSV was the one that I think we were all going to jail for. Yeah,
We're still here.
yeah, still haven't locked us up. CTOR was on the roadmap for forever.
Like
This has been known forever, but it became this really point of contention where some of the people who might or might not be in a cult were basically saying that changing the algorithm, and that we have to lock the consensus layer, and the protocol layer has to stay the same, and if we make any changes that infringe on patents or allow people to do anything illegal, then we're all committing illegal acts and we're all going to go to jail. And this sounds like a lot of...
Statists are going to state.
Statists going to state. It sounds like a lot of threats, empty threats from a lot of people who... I don't know.
For the non-technical people watching the show, like CTOR, canonical transaction order, what? That sounds so complicated and difficult. Like an easier way, I think they probably almost should describe it. It's basically alphabetical order.
Yeah.
Right. Like if you open the block, you can see like
it's just sorting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just sorting basically by alphabetical order,
Yeah.
and numbers are in there as well, of course. But like.
Yeah.
That's not so complicated.
No,
it's not so hard to understand.
And it really allows for more scalability, and it allows for the ability for...
And what that does basically, like the old way, I guess the transactions could be any which order in the block. This way they're in alphabetical order, which reduces the amount of entropy or randomness within the block. And so by reducing the amount of entropy, it makes it much, much easier to propagate those blocks across the world and use data compression on those blocks. So like a block that normally would have been, several megabytes, they can just send, a very small amount of information. They can reconstruct the block on the other side, which allows the blocks to propagate the Great Firewall of China and spread all over the world much, much easier. So if you think of, canonical transaction ordering, oh my God, what is it? It's alphabetical order.
Yeah.
And alphabetical order is not so scary.
I believe CTOR is needed in order for something like graphene to work on Bitcoin
Works
Cash.
way better.
So it works basically we can have optimized compression with CTOR. This is the way that we scale for global transactions, for 15 transactions per day for every person on the planet.
And I want to add a little bit more. So I hear a lot of people bashing like BSV on the internet. Like, I think we should wish the BSV guys good luck. Like, good luck with their project. Good luck to Dash. Good luck to everybody out there.
Absolutely.
And good luck to the BTC camp. Except for I don't wish them any good luck with their censorship. That's still going on to this very day. Like, if you don't support free and open discussion about cryptocurrencies, you don't support uncensorable cryptocurrencies. So shame on Cobra and Thamos and BTC Drac and all these guys that are out there supporting the censorship. Shame on Greg Maxwell, who told me, in writing and emails before, that he supports the censorship going on there. So like, shame on you guys. If you're out there engaging in censorship, I don't wish you good luck. But for all the people that support free speech and permissionless money for the world, regardless of which coin you're using, we support your efforts. So thank you guys out there that are doing that. It's just my 2 cents in regards to all that. Lots of other stuff happening though. Op-check data sig, right?
Yeah, the op-check data sig.
We just had a guy in our office with a really good use case for this last.
Man, I would love to talk about that more, but I'm sure he's probably wanting us to keep it tight.
Maybe he'll be watching this. Hopefully, we hope he'll be joining our team to do these really, really fun things.
Yeah,
and,
what an interesting young man.
Yeah, thank you for visiting.
And by the way, just I think it's a great opportunity to give kudos to all these great developers making all these changes to the code.
Should slow down. Like if something's not broken, don't fix it. But there clearly seem to be some issues with propagating, bigger blocks across the world.
Yep.
We saw at 22 megabytes, it ran into some real issues propagating those blocks. Like if things are broken, let's fix it.
Yep.
Or if things aren't able to, handle the current capacity, let's fix it. But if something's not broken and working well, don't fix it.
Well, I think it's good that we've got guys like Peter Risen who are constantly testing out these networks and finding out where these vulnerabilities lie and where we can improve things even further, so that the whole system itself is more secure for global adoption at a later date. Ultimately, we need to make sure that everything's working like a well-oiled machine by the time bigger enterprise level businesses start using Bitcoin Cash. So I think it's
Be
exciting.
ready for them.
Yeah.
So
This next one actually gets me super excited. I've loved this project since it started. BitcoinFiles.com.
before we get there, though, we want to do a special thanks out to Mingarian. I think a lot of people don't.
Anthony.
A lot of people probably never heard of Carl Minger. That's who Mingarian's screen name is named after, one of the founding fathers of Austrian economics. So like the fact that we have all these people that have studied economics supporting the ABC Bitcoin Cash version is a really, really good sign, because if you get the economics wrong, nothing else matters. So thank you to Carl Minger, and thank you to Mingarian Online both for helping the world become a better place. So lots and lots of exciting stuff. So there's a great analysis of all the things that you can do with check data. CSV, I don't know, too many acronyms. DSV out there, and we'll put a link to that in the show notes there as well. Which then brings us to what Corbin's excited about, BitcoinFiles.com.
So file sharing on the Bitcoin Cash blockchain, basically it allows you to upload media files backed by IPFS onto
what does
the
IPFS
Bitcoin.
stand for those that don't know?
Interplanetary File System.
We're preparing for the future, right? Interplanetary, here we come.
We're dreaming big. So it's pretty cool
here.
stuff. Basically, you can upload any file. It'll store the hash on chain, and again, it's tied to IPFS, so you can retrieve that file. And basically, it solves a great need for reliable and anonymous file sharing. This could be used for all sorts of applications. So pretty exciting stuff.
So we should give a shout out to the developers. Behind that is James Kramer, Attila Aros, and who wants to try? Who wants to try the last one?
Haptic Pilot.
Oh, there you go. It's 2 words. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
go with
thought it
that.
was just some weird, Eastern European last name.
Yeah.
Good job.
If you separate it into 2 words, it makes a lot more sense. There we go. So.
Yeah.
That's not our Attila, is it? No.
That's not our Attila.
Is this another Hungarian guy? Sounds like it.
Attila. No, I think Haptic Pilos and Attila is 2 different guys, but Attila is
Attila Aros. Aros is like a Spanish last name, though, I think, right?
Well, Spanish-Hungarian, though.
Maybe. Anyhow, thank you, Attila. So,
We should also mention actually that they integrated Badger Pay. So with Money Button and Ryan X Charles opting to go the Bitcoin Satoshi's Vision route, the Bitcoin SV route, a lot of people and a lot of projects on BCH have been rebuilding things to use the Badger button, which is basically a competitor to the Money Button. And right now you can actually pay using the Badger button extension, which is an extension for Chrome. It's an extension for Firefox as well. And it basically allows you to trade tokens through your browser in the same way that, I don't know if you guys have used the Brave browser yet. It's
I have it on my phone, but I haven't used it much.
It's kind of, they've got their own crypto as well, but there seems to be a lot of
That's
interest.
the one that Bitmain invested like $50 million
That was in Opera.
Oh, Opera.
Yeah. So
I see.
it seems like there's a lot of these browsers that are getting the feeling that they need to add this
Add a wallet.
cryptocurrency
Why
wallet
not?
to their stack. And what the guys at Badger Wallet are doing are basically allowing it to just strap into any browser so that anyone can start using Bitcoin Cash today and throughout any of their projects. Again, it makes paying literally one click of a button. It's pretty incredible.
I think we saw in the news somewhere that the Brave wallet guy said that they tested out BTC and it was the network was full and they said can't use it. And they're not the only business. I know a bunch of other giant businesses that looked into it and they said forget it, including Bitcoin.com. We saw what the economic ignoramuses over supporting the future roadmap of BTC are doing. We're done. We're building on Bitcoin Cash because it can scale to be cash for the world. BTC is a science project, and even if you get Lightning Network working perfectly, I don't have those numbers in front of me, but with 1 megabyte blocks, it'll take something like 100 years to onboard the entire world to be able to use BTC. We don't have 100 years.
Yeah, we don't have that time for that.
Right? We can onboard the entire planet on Bitcoin Cash in far, far, far less time than that. We're busy building the tools on Bitcoin Cash at Bitcoin.com.
Life is short.
So Brave Wallet, Bitcoin.com, and a whole bunch of others said they're done with BTC. We're using the real Bitcoin, the peer-to-peer electronic cash system for the world. That's Bitcoin Cash. So visit Bitcoin.com to learn more.
Do you guys happen to know if Brave is going to add any new cryptocurrencies to their, like, I would love to hear if they're planning on adding BCH to their browser.
If you know someone at Brave, tell them to add BCH, and we're happy to provide some support. Head on over to developer.bitcoin.com. We have all the tools over there that make it super easy for anybody to add Bitcoin Cash into whatever platform they want.
And if you guys know anything, comment on the video below. We'd love to hear from you guys. You know, if you have any answers to some of our questions as we just kind of go through stuff here. Please leave a comment. Make sure you subscribe below, and stay tuned for next videos as well.
So does anybody know the next topic, does anyone know anything about Anthony Pompliano?
No, but it's a great name.
He is,
I'm
as far as
guessing
I
he's
know,
Italian.
he's a fund manager, and he was recently interviewed in the Bitcoin.com podcast. So if you guys are interested in listening to some great podcasts, head over to Bitcoin.com podcast. We've got great shows, actually four different shows on Bitcoin.com podcast. This Week in Bitcoin, which basically sums up all the weekly news that
is that this one, or that's a different one?
That's a different one. That's a different one they're talking about. We've got Humans of Bitcoin, really interesting people from the ecosystem.
Bitcoin 2020, I think, is one?
Blockchain 2025 is another
2020
show.
is awfully soon.
That's right. And we also have Kaya Bitcoin. I hope my pronunciation is right. Unfortunately, I didn't pay so much attention in high school for Spanish classes.
Did they teach that in Hungary? Did they teach Spanish?
Yeah, they did.
Oh.
Un poco.
Un poquito, okay.
That's right. So Kaya Bitcoin, which is the Spanish version of our podcast as well. So.
Yeah. So go ahead and over to podcast.bitcoin.com, and you can subscribe in your iTunes and all that fun
Stitch
stuff there.
and you name it, any of your podcasting apps, you can find us in there.
So next on our list here, Patrick Byrne, long-time Bitcoin cryptocurrency promoter, CEO of Overstock.com. Their exit, and Overstock.com, everybody knows them as like the competitor to Amazon, where you can buy anything with your cryptocurrency since like 2013 or 14 or something, like for a while.
I bought a lot of things at Overstock with my Bitcoin Cash this winter.
Yeah, they're exiting. They're going to sell the retail business, I guess, to focus on crypto only.
I hope.
And their stock price went crazy.
I hope whoever takes over still keeps the Bitcoin cash transactions.
I can't imagine they're not. So
of course, it's really
it's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Looks like they've invested in 19 blockchain companies, including an open source blockchain-based crypto social network called Minds, which is like a blockchain-based alternative to Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Promises strict user privacy and absolutely no censorship.
It's really important.
Really important. With all that censorship
keep up the good work
going on at our Bitcoin still. So if you don't like censorship, make sure you subscribe to our BTC on Reddit, where you can actually talk about all this stuff and not have your posts deleted, because our Bitcoin is completely censored.
As well as BitcoinTalk.org.
Yep, BitcoinTalk.org. All of it has been since like a bunch of people that don't support peer-to-peer cash for the world.
And free speech.
They don't support censorship-resistant money, and they don't support freedom of speech. They like wrestled control of the Bitcoin project, and they kept the Bitcoin name and the BTC ticker, but like they're not Bitcoiners. That's not Bitcoin. That's not what this is all about. Go and read the very title of the white paper: Peer-to-Peer Electronic Cash System for the World. So. Brings us to Korean lawmakers. What are they up to in Korea, Corbin?
Looks like they introduced a bill to promote development of crypto exchanges. So the Korean lawmaker Kim Sun-dong announced last week that he has initiated the Digital Asset Trading Promotion Act. So the bill defines virtual content with an apparent value, such as online money, points, game items, and virtual currencies as digital assets. Kim emphasized that the need for a law dedicated to promoting crypto businesses to avoid companies leaving Korea, citing BitThumb as an example.
Lots of crypto stuff happening in Korea. Nice to see lawmakers embracing it rather than repelling it. But the biggest thing they just need to do is just get out of the way.
Just get out of the way.
And let entrepreneurs entrepreneur.
Yep.
So, so another entrepreneurial firm, entrepreneuring, Burke's Fine Jewelers, now accepting Bitcoin Cash thanks to BitPay. Like, BitPay deserves more credit in this space. They have been one of the stalwarts of the entire industry for years and years and years now, just driving so much merchant adoption all over the place.
So many businesses to accept cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, and I'm sure they've probably dealt with more trouble tickets than just about anybody when the BTC blocks are full and the network's full.
Absolutely.
I think BitPay should start promoting BCH as like the top thing listed in the checkout, and put a little thing that says recommended and says, low fees, fast transactions, just like we've done over at Bitcoin.com, because there's no solution inside.
I'm sure they're going to receive less tickets as well.
The more people they switch over to Bitcoin Cash, the less problems they're going to have. Period. Like there's no solution to the scaling issue in sight for BTC. The only solution is for people to use things other than BTC, which they've done, and that's why BTC has lost so much of its market share and percentage of the overall cryptocurrency transaction volume. Like Bitcoin Cash is right there, ready to take up the slack there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We should mention what the director of marketing actually mentioned. So they said the reason that they're
Canadian. You're Canadian.
I'm
Tell
a Canadian
us
guy.
more. Yeah.
Okay, I'll put it in my Canadian voice. So this will allow us to make our fine jewelry available to the global market while paying lower fees and avoiding chargebacks. So it's clear that, and it's very clear that I think a lot of these businesses, they realize that chargebacks do take a good, cut out of their profit. And if you can limit that while still opening up the business to, other people, then not. It's an easy add-on. BitPay
Ladies
is super
out there
easy
are
to set
going
up.
to be really happy getting
Exactly. Christmas is coming soon, gentlemen. All right, go buy from these guys.
Use
Get
your
something
Bitcoin
good.
Cash. Yeah. So something fun for you and fun for her.
Yeah.
So, which brings us to our next
This is
topic.
an interesting one, maybe.
I think it might lead me into a political rant on this.
That's why I said
Yeah.
this. I think you're going to love this, Roger. So, all right. So the U.S. government, the Office of Foreign Asset Control, has blacklisted 2 BTC addresses linked to cybercrime.
So let's stop right there. The Office of Foreign Asset Control. So this is a United States government agency claiming that they have the right to control foreign assets. I'm not a fan of government in general, but shouldn't the U.S. government be in charge of things in the U.S.?
In the U.S., right.
Why are they claiming the right to control foreign assets outside of the U.S.? Like, does anybody else see a problem with that? Like, shouldn't they have, like, the domestic asset control?
Yeah.
Not that I'm a fan of that either, but, like, that would at least be a little bit more consistent with, like, the U.S. government controlling assets in the U.S. How on earth do they think that they have the right to control assets outside of the U.S.?
Well, the SEC also tries to go after crypto companies outside of the U.S.
Yeah, we didn't get that in the news yet, but, like, the boxer guy and then the rapper guy,
Floyd
Mayweather
Mayweather,
Jr.
DJ Khaled.
Yeah. Another one.
They were just promoting some ICOs.
And I think they probably weren't the best ICOs, but like,
Unfortunately not, but
if you see like some rapper or some boxer promoting an ICO, pretty good chance he was paid to promote it.
Yeah.
and make sure you do your due diligence before you invest into any.
Yeah, and no matter who recommends anything to you, like
do your own
some
research.
Yeah, and like.
Did you guys hear about the? So a lot of people are actually sending money, sending BTC and BCH to these addresses, just in spite of this, to show that the U.S. government can't actually blacklist any addresses. That the system continues to work,
There's nothing
even
you
when
can
they
do
say
about
don't
it.
do that.
I think the fact that they said don't do that inspires people to want to do it even more. So
It's pretty,
if you have a
pretty fun.
really interesting idea as to what people can do to like strip away powers from OFAC and those that want to use violence to control their fellow man, and like the people that the OFAC's trying to block, I guess, for installing malware on people and like stealing money from people, like I want to say that's not okay. Don't do that, right? Like don't install malware on people's computers and extort money from them. Definitely not okay. But on the same tune, like claim that you're boss of the world and you can tell everybody who they can and can't send money to and what they can and can't do, like that's not okay either. So like two wrongs don't make a right. So like these people installing malware, those are bad people. They shouldn't be doing that. The people at OFAC bossing people around what they can or can't do, those are bad people too. Don't do that. And on top of that, OFAC is funded by extorting money from people that like are forced in the form of taxes to pay for OFAC. Like I'm sure most Americans, they don't care what people are doing with their money outside of America. Like, just let them live their lives and we'll live our lives. So
this actually reminds me of a tweet from WikiLeaks a while back, where they after they got shut down and prevented from being able to transact with donators, or for donators to donate to them.
I'm sure OFAC would like to block WikiLeaks
so
too.
I think it was PayPal shut them down, MasterCard shut them down, Visa shut them down, and then they put a tweet out, I think it was somewhere around January, maybe February, where they basically...
Of this year?
Where they indicated that more or less they made more money off of the donations they received through BTC and BCH due to the fact that people were encouraged to transact in that method over using US dollars and third-party systems and third-party payment networks. So ultimately they can try to shut these things down, but there's unfortunately cryptocurrency, unfortunately for them, cryptocurrency is not going anywhere. There's always going to be a way to transact now. And like it or not, we're not going anywhere.
So that brings us to the next topic. So I want to say that, I want to start, you can quote me on this, I love criminals. I don't love all criminals, but lots of criminals I love. So we were just talking about WikiLeaks, Julian Assange, criminal, love him. Fantastic guy, because even what he's accused of, like that's such trumped up nonsense. And they love to like accuse people like sex crimes because people get all upset about sex crimes, right?
Yeah.
And then like we just saw it happen with like Cody Wilson. Like I don't know, is Cody out of jail
I think he's still
at
in
the moment?
jail, as
or-
far as I know. Yeah, I think there's some goofy stuff there, and you know the news, like they really like to make sure that they use the appropriate buzzwords to really pin those people.
Yeah, what did they say with Cody? It
I
was
think
like
they were saying
sexual
pedophilia
assault or something.
Yeah, the girl. I mean, whether
How old was
17,
she? Paid a 17-year-old girl some money for some sex. She wanted money. He wanted sex. Everybody was happy.
Yeah.
You're allowed to have sex. You're allowed to pay people money. But the instant you pay people money for sex, then it becomes illegal.
And we're not even sure if that was true.
Yeah.
Like, maybe they just made up all this.
They could have very well paid off someone. Who
So
knows?
another one of
I
our
wear my
very
tinfoil hat
favorite criminals that's on the list here, Edward Snowden. Someone like looking at like life in prison for
Another
forever.
great criminal.
One of my favorite criminals again, Edward Snowden. What's he a criminal for? For telling people what their own tax dollars were spent on to do. Like, it's basically like you're forced to pay taxes, and then those taxes are like used to spy on you, to pay people to spy on you, to like find out if maybe you paid a girl that was 17 for sex, right?
That Reuters video that he, that basically, was it the Reuters video that Edward Snowden got out, or was that WikiLeaks that got that one out?
I don't know.
Where the journalist got basically annihilated by this helicopter.
Oh, that was WikiLeaks. Yeah,
that WikiLeaks?
There's a whole journalist and some kids. Collateral Damage was the name of that video. So your American tax dollars at work to shoot innocent journalists and kids from a helicopter, and then they wanted to cover it all up, of course, right? Because there's it's almost impossible to get government to government investigators to investigate corruption in government. They'll love to go after anything else with people outside of government, but like when it comes to government investigating themselves, it pretty much never happens. And I've been meaning for months to make a whole other video about the nonsense happening in the U.S. with that sort of stuff from direct experience from my own life. One of these days, very soon, I'm going to get around to doing that, but I'm too busy building permissionless peer-to-peer cash for the world each day to do that. But it's just insane. Like, there's go on YouTube and Google like filing a police complaint video, and there's some like journalists in Miami, Florida, from some TV station. They sent a guy to like 6 different police departments just asking for like the complaint form to file a complaint against an officer, and at like 5 out of the 6 police departments he very nearly got arrested, and they ran him out of the place without giving him the form. And he was just simply, politely, I would like the form to file a complaint against the police. If they're like, well, what do you want? Who's it about? And they start asking him a million questions. Like, I just want the form, and they wouldn't give it to him at a bunch of the places, and it's just disgusting how that works. But like everything, monopolies lead to bad quality service at high prices, and so when you have a monopoly in law enforcement, lo and behold, you have a horrible quality product at a really high price that you're not allowed to opt out of. So I think we need more competition when it comes to protection services as well. And monopolies lead to high prices with bad quality services. We have a monopoly in law enforcement. Well, guess what? You have a horrible quality product at a high price that you're not allowed to opt out of. So anyhow, that finally brings us to the next thing on our list, Edward Snowden. Right?
Yeah.
One of our favorite criminals.
One of our favorite guys.
Edward Snowden, another favorite criminal out there.
This is what he recently said about cryptocurrencies. As long as there are people out there who want to be able to move money without banks, cryptocurrencies are likely to be valued. And he was right.
I think this is a good point. Even in spite of the bear market, there's always going to be people that want to transact, meaning that the price will never go back to zero, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
I think
cryptocurrencies are here to stay.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Edward Snowden, I doubt you're watching our videos, but maybe you have lots of free time wherever you're hiding in Russia each day. If you are, I want to say thank you. You're a fantastic hero to humanity, right? For exposing the things that people's money that's being extorted from them in the form of taxes were being used for to spy on not just Americans but the whole world. So thank you, Edward Snowden, for that. And there's lots and lots of us out there that support you and know that you're the good guy. And I'd implore you, if you have some time to read some books, go and pick up maybe Frederick Bastiat, The Law, or anything by Murray Rothbard. And I think you'll realize that anytime you give anybody a monopoly on the use of force, it just winds up being used for bad. So it's not the voluntarists that are out there rounding up people into concentration camps and executing them, or dropping atomic bombs on people, or all these horrible things that governments do around the world. It's the statists, and I think statism is probably just too dangerous of a thing to have around at all. And I'd love you to do some additional thinking on that front. So maybe The Law by Frederick Bastiat's a good place to start. So
yeah,
Any other notes of things? It looks like you have lots of notes.
Yeah,
there,
I've got notes on some of the questions. You know, just I came a little prepared.
We've got a couple questions, and
we have lots
guys,
of questions.
Please always post some questions in the comment field. So let's start with the first one. Jacob asks, what will happen with BCH? What will be your roadmap for the next years?
Jacob Baranowski, what? Yeah. You want to answer, Corbin? What do you think? We all might have different opinions here.
Yeah, I mean, I think our biggest focus, at least, is trying to find new ways to use BCH. We know that transacting with your fellow man is the default. I think increasing adoption is obviously a big part of that, but I think experimenting is good. I think seeing new developers come into the space with these grand ideas, whether it's encrypted chat messaging using op return, or whether
or
it's
like that awesome demonstration we had in the office here from someone visiting last week. We really wanted to join our team. So.
I think, even these the ability for people to use something like DSV to perform permissionless gaming, and the ability for people to use oracles, and the ability for people
engage
to
in permissionless trade around the world.
I think ultimately growing the use cases is I think one of the most valuable things we can continue to do. I think obviously widespread adoption, merchant adoption, having better fiat on-ramps and off-ramps is also a big part of that as well. We're unfortunately left supporting fiat for a little while, but
so if I can sidetrack us a little bit, I just had a thought. I was thinking about the OFAC stuff again.
Oh yeah.
So there's a bunch of people out there installing malware on people's computer, basically saying, we're going to do bad stuff to your computer, you and your computer, if you don't send us money. Isn't that how OFAC gets their money too? They tell everybody, we're going to do bad things to you if you don't give us money, right, in the form of taxes. So like, if you think about it, like OFAC kind of is a big giant malware, right? Like they're telling
Is the government malware?
The government, I think you could argue, is malware, right?
I think we need a t-shirt with that.
The government is malware. They're telling everyone, we're going to do bad things to you unless you give us money.
Yeah.
Just like those people that OFAC is trying to say that don't take their money. Like, they're both doing the exact same thing, but one, pot meet kettle, I guess, in that front. So it just occurred to me while we were talking about what does BCH mean, because I was thinking, I want it to be peer-to-peer permissionless cash for the world.
Government is malware.
Says,
Whoever makes the best t-shirt design.
Make a design for that and we'll put it in our store. And you can buy it with Bitcoin Cash and store it at Bitcoin.com.
Send it our way.
Government is the biggest malware.
Yeah. Send it to...
store at Bitcoin.com.
Store at Bitcoin.com, yeah.
So here's a great suggestion from Nicholas Peters' question. Do you guys have any templates for flyers and such that I could acquire and pass around my neighborhood? So actually, what would probably work really darn well for the neighborhood? What's the URL though that we made with you can give out the tips? Is that live yet?
We will have that live probably this week.
I think we said that 2 weeks ago.
I know it's been like that for a little while, but Joey's been hard at work finishing up the last of the bugs. Basically, we'll have the ability for anyone to have bulk paper tips. It allows you to print off, let's say,
100 or 1,000 paper wallets, but if nobody claims the paper wallet within the time limit that you set, the money bounces back to your wallet. So you could go and give every single person in your neighborhood $1 worth of Bitcoin Cash. If they don't claim it, boom, you get your money back.
So let's just say it's tips.bitcoin.com. It's not up yet, but that's what it will be. It'll be coming soon, so bookmark that. We'll hopefully, maybe by the time this video is up, maybe we'll have it live.
Probably not. The video will be up hopefully within 24 hours. So.
But besides that, template-wise, we should see if we can maybe come up with something else.
Yeah,
maybe
great
we can put that
suggestion,
on.
Nicholas.
Thanks, Nick.
We'll talk with our marketing team and come up with something.
And in addition to questions, if you have suggestions, put those in the comments in this video below as well, because we're always looking to learn and build new useful things for the world.
And also, please make sure to visit events.bitcoin.com. We have fantastic
lots of
Bitcoin
events happening.
Cash meetups all over the world. Great people. You can go and learn more about Bitcoin Cash and socialize.
And if you don't have a Bitcoin Cash meetup near you, go and start one. We'll even sponsor it and pay for you. It's like $30 a year or something on meetup.com, but we'll pay for it for you. So go and start your local Bitcoin Cash meetup. Ours here in Tokyo is every single Wednesday. When I'm in town, I always try and go.
It's awesome.
Corbin's there pretty much every single Wednesday.
I missed last one fighting this awful cold. I'm still kind of shaking, but every Wednesday it switches around. Hop on meetup.com, search for Bitcoin Cash.
It's so much fun though, right?
The Tokyo ones are great. Yeah, I love them.
And I suggest don't have the meetups monthly or every other month. Have it every single week.
Do it weekly. Build a community. It's awesome.
It's so much fun because I get to see the same people each week when I go, and you get to have good friends and food and drinks and there's so much stuff happening, so you get to talk to them every week, and it winds up becoming I don't have many non-Bitcoin friends at this point, and like
too.
most of my friends are at the meetup each week. So.
Yeah, it's a great networking opportunity for other business owners as well. You know.
Yeah.
And it's great for the businesses as well.
Yeah.
And if you're a business, if you want to get a whole bunch of customers on Wednesday night that you wouldn't have normally, offer to host a Bitcoin Cash meetup each, Tuesday night or whatever the slow night is at your restaurant, and boom, your place will be packed with a bunch of really smart, interesting, entrepreneurial-oriented people that'll be spending money at your business and coming up with new ideas.
Beers with Bitcoin Cash and food and whatnot.
And if you start having a regular meetup and your local government allows ATMs, I think we still have a few ATMs left.
Yeah, who should they contact about that?
Yeah, Jason maybe?
Jason.
Jason at Bitcoin.com.
Yeah.
If you want a Bitcoin Cash ATM machine near you, we have more of those. I think we should skip 2 questions ahead because it links right in. It says, Will Bradbury says, how do I get my local fish and chip shop in the UK to take BCH? A small family business, cash only, no cards accepted. Well, start hosting your local Bitcoin Cash meetups there and tell them that you'll get dozens of people to show up on Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday night or whatever. Ask the business owner what's the slowest night of the week there, and then if they don't know what to do with their Bitcoin Cash, they're not sure what, tell them about Purse.io. It works great in the UK. I've used it in the UK lots of times myself. The business owner can then take the Bitcoin Cash and save 20 or 30% on purchases from Amazon.
And you can use the Bitcoin.com wallet to accept all the payments in your shop.
Of course, yeah. We're going to make a video on that. I made one once, but we lost the audio. Maybe after this show, we'll make that video again because it's so easy to do.
I would also recommend, I guess in the UK tips aren't really that big of a thing, but if you're able to even just leave a $5 tip for their service, show them how Bitcoin works, get them set up with a wallet. Maybe the next time, ask them if they'll maybe consider accepting it the next time you come in, and maybe even ask to say, hey, if I bring in 5 friends, will you accept some Bitcoin Cash for my meal? And do it slowly, just introduce people.
Step.
One step at a time, yeah.
Absolutely.
So that brings us back up 2 questions. So Nicholas Peter says, question, do you guys have, oh no, we already did that one, I'm sorry.
Lunkyful.
Yeah, Lunkyful. What is your opinion of Dash? Who wants to go first?
I think Dash is kind of cool. Yeah.
I like Dash.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys that I think anything that spreads the adoption of peer-to-peer cash.
And I think Dash their slogan is like digital cash.
Yeah.
I think you could argue Dash is basically trying to do what Bitcoin was trying to do from day one, but they actually want it to be cash, whereas the people that used censorship and propaganda that managed to hijack the BTC network, they're openly hostile to using it as cash. So I love Dash as well.
There's a big giant community in Venezuela supporting Dash.
Dash has an awesome community.
Yeah, they've got their governance model and their masternode setups are kind of interesting, and the ability for them to fund projects, I think it's really interesting. It's kind of built into their
If I had to pick
system.
the 2 currencies that probably have the best shot at becoming digital cash for the world, I think it would be Bitcoin Cash, and Dash is probably number 2.
Yeah.
You guys,
I'm with you there.
And I'm sad to say maybe Ripple is number 2 or 3 also, or I know.
Oh, that's gonna set some people off.
It's true, but look at. I'm not saying I want that to be the case. I'm saying what reality is right. And if you look at it, Ripple's getting a lot of attraction from traditional financial players and banks and that sort of thing, and it's just what it is. But I want to make sure that it's permissionless cash for the world. That OFAC can't censor. That's my goal.
Yeah, I would argue too that maybe some of these privacy coins have a good shot. I think they're kind of doing it kind of in the bad boy, kind of in the shadows. But the coins like Monero and
Zcash, Zcoin,
the ability for these ring signatures and ZK snarks and all this other kind of interesting tech that allows private transactions to exist. I mean, this is why I get so excited for Cash Shuffle and some of these other ways to kind of.
I think Monero is awesome, but I'm really disappointed with the mentality of a lot of the Monero camp of sucking up to BTC and trying to say that high fees and full blocks are a good thing.
They kind of
BTC.
bought into the narrative for sure, unfortunately.
So
but
I say that as a Monero holder. I've held Monero since it was, low single digits. So.
We should maybe go for this one too, just because this one I took some notes on. So this is from a fella named Supan Madhushanka. Now he's got the $ in there, so I assume he's an SV guy because he's using the hand cash handle.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, so if they have the $ that's usually the hand cash handle.
And again, I have no problem with the SV. I wish those guys good luck.
Yeah, but this guy had a question, said, Roger, what's your opinion of the ABC roadmap leaning towards proof of stake with Avalanche? Won't that affect the Bitcoinness of BCH? Really curious about the answer. Cheers.
So I'm not a deep expert on Avalanche, but my understanding is that it doesn't affect the actual blocks at all. It's just consensus stuff between blocks. to give certainty of what's going to be in the blocks later. You have some notes. What are your notes there?
So, I mean, I've spoken to it with a few people. You know, the overall sentiment is that what it has the ability to do is basically increase the strength and the guarantee of zero confirmations. So zero confirmation transaction, it basically just makes them a lot more sturdy. I think the other thing is that it does allow for a faster consensus. There's a little bit, actually Amory had a great paper that he released. It's actually still on yours.org called On Markets and Pre-Consensus. No, it didn't get censored. But on Markets and Pre-Consensus, he has a great paper where he writes about it. This paper actually stirred a big frenzy back in, I don't know, it would have been maybe June or July. Craig Wright said a bunch of crazy stuff, you know, after the paper came out and said that, you know, this was
gonna sue you.
This is all illegal, and who knows
Did
what
he say
else.
it was
I don't know.
illegal?
He was saying a bunch of crazy
he
stuff.
might have.
But you know, I think it's also worth mentioning that actually Ryan X. Charles did a video on July 11th of this year talking about Avalanche and how he was actually in support of Avalanche. So I think the idea of pre-consensus in kind of a hybrid model of proof of stake with proof of work, and whether it's...
Is there any, I think there's only like staking for the Avalanche pre-consensus,
yeah,
but there's
it's not,
zero staking
it has
required
nothing to
for the
do
mining.
with the actual mining.
Yeah, totally separate. So I don't even think it's fair to call it proof of stake.
And it's not even really, I don't know, I think it's one of those things that we shouldn't be scared of looking at new technologies, but I think it's also, like you said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But I'm also like, yeah, if we can improve zero confirmation, if we can make everything faster, you know, Dash has their instant transactions, which
I've
are
never, ever had a transaction reversed.
I've never had a double spend on me, no.
I've had lots of transactions on the BTC network get bumped from the mempool or delayed because of the full blocks.
Yeah. Whether or not this is like a high priority, I truly don't know. But I'm sure there's a lot smarter people out there that will make a lot better arguments for or against it in the next little while. I would maybe also mention that, you know, Chris Passia recently did an article.
Another awesome guy from Open Bazaar. So shout out to you, Chris. Like, fantastic job.
You know, and there's a lot of talk about this, like locking the protocol. And he wrote an awesome article called "Locking Down the Protocol is an Idiotic Idea." Basically, just broke down why he thinks we still need to continue to build and improve the protocol layer in order to scale for global adoption. He actually contributed that on Coinbase, I believe. But yeah, basically, I think what we have to do is just kind of realize that there's a lot of great developers out there that are going to try some stuff. People are going to pitch ideas. Some of them are going to be winners. Some of them might not get accepted. But ultimately, if we can improve the quality of everything, improve the speed, improve the ability for us to scale, I'm in support of things as long as they've been properly vetted, properly researched. We can weigh out the pros and cons and kind of do a bit of a analysis on it all. But I'm not gonna shy away from the fact that, like, there's a lot of other smart genius ideas out there, and I don't know if locking the protocol yet is quite even needed. I think, you know, we're seeing a lot of growth.
I'm really sympathetic to the idea of making the protocol stable so that businesses don't have to shut down for a week because they're scared of things.
And I totally can see that.
This has been a disaster for
this
BCH.
This hurts merchants, this hurts users.
That hurts users, hurts everyone.
It still hasn't recovered yet.
And uncertainty is really, really bad for adoption as well.
So one thing that I think Supanmandu Shankar is alluding to, he says, won't this affect the Bitcoinness of BCH? So like, I made a video in the past, and we'll put a link down below, saying that BCH is Bitcoin more than BTC is Bitcoin. And like, yeah, that's absolutely true.
Would pre-consensus or something like that make it less Bitcoiny?
But I think what a lot of people are missing the point is, it's not the point that like this is the real true Bitcoin. It's that the original Bitcoin worked and worked incredibly well. And so like, it's great because it worked, not because it was Bitcoin. Bitcoin wasn't cool because it was called Bitcoin. Bitcoin was cool because it worked for permissionless payments for the world. And it worked for payments for the world. And the Silk Road was proof of that.
Yeah.
It worked. And then that ability to work as peer-to-peer permissionless payments for the world was intentionally destroyed by the BTC camp. So like, they still have the name Bitcoin over there, but it's not the original Bitcoin, and it doesn't work for payments. That's why we don't use it for payments anymore. We're busy using things like
it doesn't work like it used to be.
Like Bitcoin Cash, and then like it has to work. And
also everyone is going to be surprised if all we need is another December when you know the fees are going to go back skyrocketing. People will realize, even people who support Bitcoin Core now will realize that, you know, it just doesn't work.
Except for those knuckleheads out there that don't actually use it for payments, and they'll be talking about popping the champagne.
Right. Anytime if you ask someone who supports the Bitcoin core groups,
ask them when the last time they made a payment with it.
Bitcoin, and they basically
almost
are not going
never
to be able to answer the question. Oh, I just hodl.
I got to ask Tone Vase that on the cruise the other day, and his answer was like, "Oh, I use it all the time. I sell BTC for dollars." Was his answer.
Yeah, that hodl gang mentality.
And
I think
what
is
Roger usually says, like, the currency needs to be spendable.
Yeah,
that's really
it's not that you have to spend it, it's that it has to be spendable. And the fact that you know that you would be able to spend it on whatever you want anytime you need it, that incentivizes you to want to use it as a store of value. That's why everybody's busy using the dollar or the euro or the yen as stores of values, because they know that they can spend it anywhere when they need to. If suddenly every single shop in Japan stopped accepting the Japanese yen, people would stop using the Japanese yen as a store of value. And think about it, whatever country you're in, if everybody in your town or in your country stopped using whatever the local currency is, you wouldn't want to use that local currency as a store of value anymore. You would use whatever currency people are using in commerce to buy and sell things at that point. So that's why we're busy making Bitcoin Cash spendable as cash for the world, because then the secondary effect is that people will start using it as a store of value. And anybody that studied economics would understand that, but lo and behold, all these BTC supporters are a bunch of economic ignoramuses that have no clue when it comes to the economic reasons that Bitcoin was successful to begin with. So pick up an economics book. That's the tip for the day. The other tip for that is head on over to Bitcoin.com to learn more about everything. Pool.Bitcoin.com, participate in our mining pool. You can buy mining contracts. I hear pretty soon we're going to allow people to sell existing mining contracts. So you'll have a market for mining contracts to and from people. If you feel like paying...
Exciting news.
Yeah, playing slots, blackjack, poker, Keno, this and that, whatever you want in our provably fair gaming system, head on over to cashgames.bitcoin.com. You can deposit and start playing instantly, or you can play for free. You don't even have to deposit any money. You can play for free house credits. And if you win, you can withdraw your money instantly. If you lose, we're going to take that money and use it to promote more economic freedom and Bitcoin Cash use around the world.
And if you like this video, make sure to like.
Hit the bell notification thing.
Absolutely. Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Share it with a friend. Share on Facebook. Share on, I guess you can still share on yours.org, but it might get censored.
We should maybe mention that honest.cash. Go share it there too.
Yeah. And memo.cash, of course. Where else? Facebook is the legacy thing.
Twitter, you name it. Yeah.
Share it everywhere that your social media platform.
And
if you're in Russia, share it on vContact.
Free.bitcoin.com. Don't forget that one. If you guys are in need of a little bit of
free Bitcoin Cash
free BCH.
For anybody that's new to Bitcoin Cash,
download our wallet.
Free.bitcoin.com. Maybe if the guy that was asking about flyers for the neighborhood, maybe you can type up a flyer and send them to free.bitcoin.com, and they'll get a little bit of free Bitcoin Cash right there. But great idea, handing out flyers in your neighborhood. I think that's it for this week. Anything you guys want to add?
That's it.
Nope. See you guys all next week.
Have a great December, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, we're not too politically correct over here, so Happy Atheist Holiday, whatever it is you want to do. Like, we don't care.
Do you guys?
Happy Economic Freedom Month. There you go. So see you next month.
See you guys.